It's hard to believe this is what music venues looked like this time last year. It's officially been 1 year since artists and music fans experienced a live gig in person. Edinburgh venues like the Usher Hall, Sneaky Pete's, the Mash House and La Belle Angel remain empty as the music industry searches for a way to survive the Covid-19 pandemic. Music fans told EN4 News about the last gig they attended pre-lockdown.
Last gig I saw was Dead Rabbit on the 7th of March. It was just electric, and that's the thing I miss about it. It was just people in a space enjoying the same thing.
I saw New Rules on the 21st of February 2020, and I really miss screaming all the lyrics at concerts.
The last gig I attended was Tovlo in Glasgow at SWG3. It was such good vibes, so busy, everyone was having a great time, and I really missed the atmosphere and being in a crowd and having a drink with my friends.
Last proper gig was the Six Music Festival at the Roundhouse in Camden. Way back on the 8th of March last year. Highlight of the performance was Jenny Beth, who was absolutely stunning. But on the same lineup with Roisin Murphy, Koji Radical, I think we'd seen the Selector the night before. There was 2,500 people in the gig, which was a bit weird because we were just going into lockdown at that point. Nobody was wearing masks, although you couldn't buy any hand sanitizer or toilet roll in the shops. In fact, hardly anybody in London was wearing masks. But a stunning show for Jenny Beth. Launched herself off the stage into the audience just beside us, and memorable experience, and missing live gigs a huge amount.
Ninth Degree are a 5-piece rock band from Edinburgh. Vocalist and guitarist Hamish Misselbrook told me about the last gig he played before the pandemic.
So our last gig, I think, if I remember correctly, was the 29th of February last year. It was a heat for a Battle of the Bands in Dundee at the church venue in Dundee, which is a great little venue. And we didn't know it was going to be our last gig. You know, it was by the end of that week, everything was shut, which is kind of weird to look back on it because it wasn't really a highlight. It was just it was a stepping stone on the way to other stuff.
Do you have any clue how severely COVID would be impacting the music industry and live gigs?
So I think I had some clue because as well as being a musician, I'm a sound and light tech job-wise. So when the stuff around the Fringe happened early on and that got cancelled, that's when I knew, okay, this is going to be a while. I'm not going to be working or performing for a long time because events are not going to be a thing. So I think we'd all optimistically hoped for maybe October, and we'd planned for around then. We had no disillusion that there was nothing on the summer was going to happen or anything like that. We thought maybe by the end of the year, and then we thought maybe by the new year. So now we're currently just to safely aim, we're aiming for about Halloween this year.
Has hearing about vaccine distribution made you feel hopeful for the future, or is it just a bit like, oh, when's this going to end?
And now stuff with the vaccinations now that's actually rolling out properly. And, I know my dad just got his first dose a week ago. My grandparents have all had their doses. So seeing it actually is happening has been a bit sort of heartwarming, and makes me think that I might actually get to be on a stage by the end of this year, which would be nice.
What do you miss most about playing in-person gigs?
I like the performance. I think it's fun. I've always enjoyed it. And the band, we're all really good friends. The five of us, Cammy and I have known each other since we were 7. We've known Reese through high school. We met Connor and Murray at uni. We've become really close friends. We're all very tight knit. So just getting to be up there on stage, muck around with your mates, and produce some music, and people seem to like what we produce. So that is also fun.
What's your favourite memory from a live show?
Our first single launch with this band, it was the first time we played Don't Fear the Reaper live as a band, and it's now become a staple of our set. But obviously there's that really famous SNL skit, the Needs More Cowbell thing, and we wanted to play into that in some way. So as we're about to start the song, this is when we only had 4 members of the band, we realised that we didn't have a cowbell player. and we'd set up previously with a friend of ours who basically ran through the crowd with a cowbell, came on stage and played it. And no one was really expecting it. We managed to keep it quite under wraps, so that was quite funny. I think that was probably a good moment.
As music fans and artists reflect on last year's gigs, it is clear the community is remaining hopeful for the future of live music. For now, we can support artists through live stream gigs. Until the day audiences can set foot in music venues, we reflect on simpler times.